What's up everyone, welcome back. We're gonna do a review today of the Shimano Metanium. This is the newest version. Love this reel, great reel. I'll show you what I like about it. We'll talk about that and then how it compares to the old version that I've been fishing for years. We'll do that right now. Thanks everyone for watching. I love doing these video reviews, talking about my experiences with different products, good or bad. I do a lot on baits and rods and reels and lures. I mean, that's really all I talk about, honestly, it seems like. But I love it. I'm always trying new stuff from a lot of different brands. And once in a while, there's some products that are truly some of my favorites that I cannot wait to fish with. I'm always rigging up different rods and changing things to use that particular reel in this instance, and that's the Metanium. This is the 100 size. There's also a 150, but this thing is just phenomenal. It's a great reel, but it has a big price tag. It's 475, 480 bucks, really expensive. So it's not for everybody, but I just did a review of a $50 reel that costs, you get 10 of those for that. So I use everything, but with that being said, really like this Shimano Metanium. And the reason I'm doing this review now, I've fished this reel for a year and a half, love this reel, but I was out fishing with my wife recently. And I gave her a rod to fish with, we were throwing buzz baits, and she's fishing it. She's like, man, this is like really good setup. And I had to say, yeah, it's very expensive. You're fishing with a $900 setup, a Loomis rod, and then almost $500 reel. But it was just so easy for her to cast, dial in. She fishes, she knows what she's doing, but she could sense like this is a very good product. And I have to agree. Like I said, I find ways to use this. I will take the line off of it for and put on a different rod for a different technique because it's that good. But I also like the old version as well, the one from 2016. I did a review of this back in the day. I've been fishing it heavy ever since. Right now it's on my punch setup, but I love this reel as well. It is just a phenomenal reel. But again, you're talking about not the top of the line, but very high up the chart as far as Shimano products go. Again, a premium, really sports car type reel. It's very, very smooth, casts really well, and it's just phenomenal. So that's just kind of the side note. There are some differences between the new version and the old version. And one of the big differences between this version and the old version is the MGL. It's an MGL reel, the Magnum Light spool. They do that with a lot of things, Corrados, the Bantam. They're using that for a lot of things. But basically it's just a lightweight spool that that spins faster, I should say, and you can just get a better cast. So it's a better casting reel because of that technology. And you can see it. Again, I'm comparing a reel that's 10 years old to now, so things are better, the technology has improved, but this thing casts with ease. I read some stuff in some reviews and things like that actually did the measurements of different casting accuracy and distance, and it's supposedly about 10 or 15% further cast. I haven't went that far into it, but I do know that it casts far and it casts light baits very, very well. That is a huge thing, especially if you're using a weightless soft plastic or a small crankbait or things like that. This is a great reel for that because of that spool. Really, all the MGL spool reels have been very, very good to me. Another thing is they use a magnesium core solid bodies and side plates and all that, so it's a really lightweight reel, but it's still very strong and firm. This was a different material back then. I'm not sure exactly, but I know it was some sort of carbon material. But overall, it's just been a phenomenal reel, casts really well, does everything you need, super smooth. There's a reason it costs this much money because it is a phenomenal reel. Easy to adjust on the side, just perfect for anything you need. Micro adjustments to adjust for different lures. Really a fan of this reel, and I just had to do this review after that experience with my wife fishing it, and she was just blown away at the quality of it, and I just kind of took it for granted because it's just such a good reel that I'm always reaching for and finding ways to use. That's the same with certain rods and reels that I have that I just really like using, and I find ways to use it, and this is definitely one of them. The Metanium. And there's a couple sizes, there's a 150 and then the 100. So this is smaller profile, it's easy to palm, it's really good for working a jerk bait, top water baits, things like that. But I really find ways to use this for everything. Like I said, I was just using it for buzz baits, spinner baits, just a phenomenal reel that casts great. Can't say that enough. Thanks for watching.